Hi, in this second video, we're going to watch Luke Coutinho talk about intermittent fasting. According to him, intermittent fasting is a technically sound diet plan, what our forefathers did. When we say forefathers means food gatherers and hunters. So it was either feasting or fasting. Luke also talks about body type, body plans, detox mechanism, and individual diet for each body type. One shoe doesn't fit all. At the end, Luke talks about that the biggest turning point of his success was cutting out fake people. Let's go and watch Luke Coutinho in the second chapter. You talk a lot about intermittent fasting and its connection with autophagy. Tell us something about that.
Absolutely, it's one of the most wisest, sensible diets. It's not even a diet; it's a way of living. Again, you go back to evolution, post sunset. Every religion talks about this. Post sunset, people stopped eating food. There was no light. Two, cooking. Right. Three, they wouldn't want to light fires and cook because you'll attract enemies from around, all of that stuff. And there's a lot of history behind it. So people stopped eating, people stopped drinking water. And then the next day when they ate, they didn't wake up and have cereal boxes ready and cupboards of food. They had to go and search for their food, hunter, gatherer, all of that stuff. So their first meal was probably by midday. So we have a mechanism in our body which once you start intermittent fasting, you realize that, hey, it's coming natural to me now. The first 3 days are going to be difficult, hunger pangs, out of habit and stuff. But after a while, you realize that, hey, my body, it was called fasting and feasting. The human body never had the amount of food available like we have today.
Correct.
There was fasting and there was feasting when you killed an animal or you got a crop and stuff like that. So our body has that mechanism and we're trying to reinitiate that. And the unbelievable health benefits that come with it, it's not even funny anymore. It's like every morning I'm getting to know something new from a different part of the world. Like a lady from Czechoslovakia, 22 years old, 92 years old. For 20 years she's woken up with arthritic pains. After she starts fasting, within 7 days her pains have disappeared completely. That's not hard to deliver. There's a science behind it to understand this. What happens is when we fast, our inflammatory markers decrease. All pain is inflammation. All heart disease, diabetes, cancer, all inflammatory diseases. Immunity gets stronger when the body has enough of energy. If it's constantly used for digestion, we're constantly eating, producing more acid, our bodies create the environment for disease. So intermittent fasting brings all of these benefits. It is not a diet, it is not a fad. Although people are sadly making it into a fad. There are nutrition programs that come to us, intermittent fasting, we'll plan how you eat this way. It's not needed, and that's what I'm trying to tell the world. This is inexpensive and free. Do it, understand how to do it. If it suits you, do it well. It may not suit you, don't do it. Some people need their breakfast, go ahead and eat it. You don't have to do it because everyone's doing it. But if you have a particular pain, you're trying to heal from a particular disease, use your body's energy and intelligence to heal you. Don't just depend on allopathy or any of these drugs. Take it if you want. I'm not against allopathy. We're into integrated medicine. We have allopathic doctors part of our team. We're not against them. But my whole point is, if you can go on suppressing a symptom for life, you know what problems you're going to create. So use the medicine as a crutch, make your lifestyle changes, and slowly work with your doctor to get off your medicine.
What is the duration of this intermittent fasting? In 16 hours?
Doesn't matter. For some people, like for me now, it's 12 hours. Now if I travel, come back, eat a lot of food, I can go up to 14, 15, 16 hours because my body's using the fasting period to clean out more toxins.
But unless you're hungry, you don't eat. This is what it is?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Some people do it 16, some people do it 18, some people do it 13. You got to listen to your body. Every day is going to be different. Some days your body will let you go on for 22 hours. Some days it will break it in 12 hours, depending on how fast it's finished its job. So you can't say it's 16, it's 18, it's 14, 13. There's no perfect number. The minimum is about 12, which we anyway automatically do if we have an early dinner and a normal breakfast. So that's how it works, basically.
What is the emotional detox and how do you achieve it in simple methods, simple procedures, in simple ways?
So emotional detox is, it's a new term actually which we coined because see the thing is, the human mind today, be it a child, be it a teenager, be it an adult, be it a senior citizen, is not designed to carry the stress that it carries today. It's not possible. It is not possible. We may have technology, comforts around us, but it doesn't mean that our bodies can handle stress better. You may have the most comfortable bed, but it doesn't mean it's going to take away your stress. You may just sleep a little bit better, but it doesn't mean it's going to take away your stress. So we need to understand that we have to help our minds detoxify, and that comes through sleep, because sleep is one of the best detoxifications when you're very, very stressed. Of course, that's if you're able to fall asleep and your stress is not preventing you from, not
Correct.
sleeping. Two is meditation. Because when you meditate, you're able to, be focused, calm your mind down. So every time your mind is not focused on thoughts, it's actually detoxifying. It's basically relax. And there's a lot of medical science. I mean, the more you meditate, your IgA hormones, basically increase, which can actually protect you against stress. Your cortisol levels relax, adrenaline relaxes. So anything, it could be a hobby for someone. That could be emotional detox where you're painting something, but you're so involved in that you can't think of anything else. Some people, it could be a game of soccer. Then 1 hour you're playing, you're only focused on your game, you're not thinking of anything else. That is also emotional detox. So emotional detox happens when we can distract our mind from everything around us that is basically stressing us out. Could be listening to music. So it's a very simple term, but we have to be responsible for that.
What is it for you?
For me,
Relaxing.
sleeping and meditation. Sleeping and meditation, that's it. Sometimes when I say meditation, it could just be deep breathing. I could just be deep breathing or doing pranayama for 15 minutes and I feel completely detoxed and stuff like that, basically.
So for you, in the manual called Life, what are the 3 things that you would like to include for the young?
Yeah, one is obviously to take care of your health because whatever dreams you have in life, they can never come true unless you have your health. I know people who have sacrificed their health to build their careers and study and build business empires, and when they finally achieve that, they don't have their health anymore. What's the point? Then they're in and out of hospitals, all their money in the world can't buy their health back again and stuff like that. So number one, take care of your health. That's your body is your carrier. Your mind. You take care of these 2 things, it's going to support you in making all of your dreams happen. 2 is don't ever compare yourself to other people. Because you're individual, you will never be able to be someone else. I mean, look at the world, look at the diet world, trying to follow all of Bollywood's and Hollywood's diets. Yet they don't look like any of them. We don't understand. You don't end up looking like them. So suddenly someone starts taking a fat burner, everyone's taking a fat burner. Everyone doesn't lose weight. Because I always say, if there was a weight loss pill or a fat burner that worked, there wouldn't be fat people. People would take loans. They would pay an EMI on the most expensive weight loss pill if it worked. But it doesn't work. It's as simple as that. So don't compare yourself with anyone. And 3 is, I always tell people the most difficult part of your life is determining what is going to make you happy in terms of your purpose, what you want to do. Most people you ask today, they don't know what their purpose in life is. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I didn't know for the longest time myself. And I don't know. Today my purpose is to make a difference in people's health. I don't know. It may change 6 months down the line. And I'm open to it. I'm open to it if it changes. But the thing is, find your purpose. Because when you have a purpose in life, then comes the passion, the dedication and stuff. You can be in any corporate organization and they can spend millions of dollars on motivation and leadership classes and all of that stuff. But they can never create passion in you. That passion has to come from inside, and it can only come when you're aligned with what your purpose in life is going to be.
True.
So these are the 3 things that I would say, should be in everyone's life, basically.
One last question, Luke.
Sure.
Sudhir and I, the journey we are taking, the sentiment of the journey is celebrate life. And I'm sure you also celebrate life, doing what you are doing. So what, according to you, is celebrate life?
I think for me, at this point in my life, celebrating life is being close to my loved ones, family and stuff like that. If I go back 10 years ago, family it's there, it's always been there. But I remember I would go meet my parents within an hour, 2 hours, if there's a party, I would go out and party. Today it's more about, being with them, I think when you go through life, you realize that the most powerful drugs are family and, people that, when I say family, everyone doesn't have a family, everyone doesn't have a great family. It could be relationships with your sibling, it doesn't have to just be your spouse. It could be with your mom, it could be with your dad, it could be with your sibling, it could be with a colleague, it could be with a friend. But nurturing these relationships which really give back to you. Because sometimes in life, I've realized for me in my life, in fact that will be my lowest downfall in my life, when I realized that I had the wrong set of friends. The set of friends who were never happy for you, who would be jealous when you succeed. Like I had this whole set of friends, and when I wrote my first book, I was so proud. The first person I went to were my friends to show them, but you could see this look on their face. They were not happy for you, whatever, and then they stopped, whatever and stuff. But for me, believe me, that point in my life was the turning point in my life. I think if I had stuck to that group of friends, I wouldn't be where I am today. It was because I was able to cut them out of my life that my whole life moved right up. Because somewhere I was thinking, should I just satisfy them and be like them, come down to their level, or should I continue rising? Right. So I think that for me was the biggest success point of my life, cutting away from fake friends. They were good at that point, parties and this and that, at that level. But when sometimes people decide to start evolving, and you would like your friends to back you in that, you would like them to feel happy for you. But just because they're stuck and they don't want you to move to a different level and they start changing, that's the time you have to realize that, okay, they were good in your life at a particular point. I have no regrets about that. That point in my life, they were perfect. But the new part of my life, if they could not support me, I had to cut them out. And that was the best decision in my life. If I was still with them today, I wouldn't have achieved even 5% of what I have today. So I think that's my fourth rule that I would put in the book for people. You got to celebrate life. You don't have to have people around you to celebrate life. Some of my best celebrations are done when I'm alone. I could be walking in New York, Central Park, and just finish some successful cases, and you're celebrating life. You're so happy, you're so blissfully happy. You don't need alcohol or people around you at that time. But sometimes you want to celebrate those moments with people that you have around you.
Correct.
So it's very different for me. I would celebrate it in different ways, basically.
Correct. It has been very motivational and very enlightening, Luke. It was really amazing talking to you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, really.
Thanks guys.